Welcome in, guys. Adam here, the Orlando drummer, and today I would like to introduce you to my brand new signature snare from Entity Drums. This is the Entity OD. Now, about 2 years ago, I got in touch with Salvador from Entity Drums, and Sal is a seriously talented woodworker and artist, and he was kind enough to send me one of his 12-inch snares all the way from Melbourne, Australia. But being that this snare was so small, I assumed that I would likely use it as my side snare, and probably not my main one. But as I tuned that original snare up and I played it back in early 2019, I began to fall in love with the sound of this drum. Even though I have several other high-end snare drums in my collection, I always found myself returning to this 12-inch Entity. And sure enough, this snare ended up replacing all of my other ones, because truly, this snare has just become a permanent staple in my sound over the last 2 years. So throughout 2020, Salvador and I have focused on ways to improve and package this snare drum to closely represent the sound that I've fallen in love with, and I think we have finally nailed it. So this drum is 12 inches by 5 inches, and it's made out of Jara, which is a native Australian hardwood. Now, I know you're thinking, just like I was, that 12 inches is just too small to be a main snare, and normally I would agree with you. But when it comes to Jara, this specific wood is incredibly dense. Jara is significantly more dense than maple, birch, oak, ash, beech, or any of the other woods that you would commonly see used for a snare drum. And all of that density comes with a sound profile that is unlike any other wooden snare that I have ever heard. So Jara is a very sharp and a growly wood, and it has overtones that kind of replicate the sound profile of a metal snare drum in many ways. While Jara has tons of body, it's still very sensitive, it's extremely loud, and it's more than capable of cutting through the mix in almost any genre of music. While 12 inches is quite small, this reduced size helps to balance out a lot of the aggressive qualities of the wood, and for me, 12 by 5 is just the perfect size for this snare. Now, the OD is made with a 100% stave construction, and that helps to control a lot of the overtones of the drum, and it really helps bring out the fundamental tone of the wood itself. The snare is outfitted with only 6 single-point double-ended lugs, and that allows for very little shell contact, which means tons of resonance. Now, the hoops of the OD are segmented Jara, which perfectly match the actual shell, and just like the shell itself, these hoops are incredibly dense, and that makes for really powerful rim shots and cross sticks. But these aren't ordinary wooden hoops, because Sal has incorporated a metal inlay inside of the hoops, and that helps prevent damage to the wood, but it also adds to that sharp, metallic, high-end bite that this drum is notorious for producing. Now, to replicate my own personal sound as much as possible, we've outfitted every OD snare with an Evans UV2 on the top and a Hazy 300 on the bottom. And trust me, I've experimented with well over a dozen different head combinations on this drum, and the UV2 Hazy 300 setup is by far the most versatile combo that I've found. If you've seen any of my videos, whether on Instagram or on YouTube for the last year, this is the exact head combination that I've been using. UV2 Hazy 300 is where it's at for this drum. Now, we've also upgraded the snare wires to the Pure Sound 20-strand blasters, and these sound absolutely amazing. Again, same ones I've been using for at least the last year. For the throw off of this drum, every OD snare comes standard with a GS007, and that's made by Trick, and it's a multi-step throw off, but it's also one of the most reliable and proven throw offs on the market. It's absolutely awesome. a finishing touch, we've added a hand-hammered brass badge to every single drum. Each one of these is completely unique, and they're fabricated by my good buddy Matt Mayer of Mojo Metalworks, and he's actually based right here in Orlando. Matt is an incredibly talented metal fabricator and an artist, and he absolutely killed these badges. I have every expectation that these badges will actually outlive the drum itself, you know, in case your great grandkids wanted a belt buckle. Now, because each snare is handmade by Salvador in his Melbourne shop, these snares are only released in small batches. As of right now, there are 10 of these available. There were 12 originally, but 2 of them have sold before I had a chance to record this video, and we do expect the rest to sell very quickly. Now, if you're watching this video and the first batch is already sold out, don't worry. You can drop a line to Sal at the link in the description, and he'll get you on the waiting list for the next batch. Truly, it has been an honor to work with Sal and Matt on this project, because not only are these guys both incredibly talented artists, but they're also small artistic business owners, just like myself. And teaming up with these guys to create this incredible drum has been a really inspiring and a really fun process. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we are very proud of this snare drum, and we hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Adam here, the Orlando drummer, and I will catch you in the next one. Later.